big stallion out,
Uh-huh.
and this cowboy stole his horse. So he offered a reward for the horse, $5,000 for the horse to come back, another $5,000 if there was a dead cowboy stretched across the saddle. So coming through the Maze District of Canyonlands, the cowboy runs into one of his friends he knew who was coming from out of Moab. They'd hang out in the maze for the outlaws. Bumps into him and says, there's a lot of wanted posters for this horse. He's a very identifiable, real sleek black racehorse. He says, the guy wants it back. He wants you dead. He said, tell you what, he says, I won't kill you. We'll put that horse up on the point. We'll barricade it in. And in the spring, we'll go back, get the horse. Take it back to him. We'll split the $5,000 reward. So what happens is that they get up here and they find the horse dead. And nobody was a winner. Hence the name Dead Horse Point, not Dead Horses Point. Okay, so that's the true story. Now, if they'd have found the horse alive, there's a good chance one of them two cowboys would have killed the other one. Because then instead of $2,500, he'd end up with the whole $10,000. All they had to do was find a body to put over the horse.
Right. So that's it?
Well, then there's the other story.
Okay.
When uranium mining kicked in Moab here really big, the town exploded from 800 to 8,000 people in 1952. With them miners came the cooks, the bakers, the candlestick makers, and the ladies of the night who did the entertaining. Well, as these entertainers, the hookers, prostitutes, as they were entertaining, they'd find their favorite guys and they'd marry them. These guys came into town dirt poor, suddenly were instant millionaires when they hit uranium ore. And these women, they took advantage of that. So one day, these now church-going ladies decided they didn't want their husbands hanging around with their former co-workers. You know what I mean? Being entertained by their former co-workers. So they decided one day, a whole bunch of them, that they'd invite all these other girls up onto this point here to have a picnic. They were up here having a little picnic, having a good time, had little horse and buggy rides going around on the point and everything. They were doing a good time, baked apple pies, chicken, cards, the whole works, And, busted watermelon, pumpkin pie. One of the women went looking for her husband and found him in the back of one of the cars there, being entertained. She blew her top, and they let the cat out of the bag. The reason for bringing these other women up, we wanted to have a talk to you about entertaining our husbands. We understand it's your profession, it's the oldest profession out there, but leave our husbands alone. That's what they wanted to tell them. Well, when this one woman found her husband out dicking this one woman in the back seat, that was all off, boy. This cat fight, hair pulling, everything else was going on. By the time the guys got everybody pulled apart and the women in their cars, they had 15 of these entertainers still standing around out here wondering how they were going to get back to town because the church-going women wouldn't let them in their cars. You could ride that damn horse and buggy back to Moab for all we care. That one woman, she's like, yeah, I bet your husband loves me better than you. He calls my name out in his sleep, doesn't he? Oh, man, what a fight. Anyhow, the woman that had been scorned particularly bad noticed that these women were all climbing up into this backboard of this little wagon trying to get back to Moab. So she jumps out of her vehicle, runs over there and pulls her hat pin out of her hair. She stabbed that horse right in the ass. That horse reared up in the air and took off, man. There was seven women in that thing, and they went off over the cliff edge. That's why they call it Dead Horse Point.
Oh.
Ba-boom, boom, ba.